This is the HeeWing Lico under the Hunter series, which is aimed for beginner, and this plane has performed exactly that. You can even fly it hands off thanks to the onboard gyro stabilized receiver. It has a 640mm wingspan, 2S powered, and it's very lightweight, so it does not get damaged if you crash it. Great for beginner, worry-free learning. You can get the P&P version, which comes with mini electronics except radio and receiver, or the ARF version, which has radio and receiver. I highly recommend ARF for beginner as it's super easy to set up. Both versions require your own battery and charger. HeeWing product does not have a physical manual in their product, including the T1. So supposedly you can go to the website, HeeWing, and then go to download assembly guide manual. But at the time when I received this Lico, the manual is not on the site yet. So I've requested for the manual from HeeWing themselves. Thank you, Nikki. But it's in Chinese language, which I believe will be translated later. But I believe most of you who are watching this can't read Chinese, so I hope English version will be ready after this. I will also upload a separate video to show you guys how to easily modify this from left hand throttle to right hand throttle for the mode 1 guys. So be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification button. First thing we're gonna do is actually sticking the decal. Carefully cut the gap here. Take out this piece. This is where you install this. I'm just gonna use hot melt glue. As the glue is hardening, make sure it's 90 degrees. Apply decal to elevator and rudder. Pretty amazing that they actually put effort into making this decal. It does look nicer than just a plain white color body. Prepare these accessories. So you join the 3 pieces like this, 2 small and 1 big, and make sure the hole is aligned as you glue them together. And press them onto the foam wheels. Oh, nice, perfect fit. Join this up to make this a landing gear. And notice over here, the longer side is towards the inside. And also make sure it is about 45mm apart on both sides. You also need to glue it to secure it in place. Secure the wheel with 2x10 screws provided. Finally, the manual is missing the part about joining up the tail, so I'm just gonna try and guess. I think you mount it like that. After that, put these pieces over the push rod guide. So you gotta be careful when you are doing this. Don't be like me. But it's quite a good fit. Don't push on the edge, otherwise you're gonna break it like me. I'm gonna glue it back. Glue already. You apply glue here as well to install the tail. So make sure it's straight though. Oh, you turn them 90 degrees. So it should be like this. I have applied more glue along the line to make sure that it's secured. Next will be applying glue here to join up the tail. So you're going to make sure the tail is perpendicular to the frame, so as the rudder parallel straight to the fuselage. My elevator has slight bend on the left side, which I'm going to deal with it later. Manual says apply glue here to secure the landing gear, but in my case, because it's such a tight fit, so I'm not going to glue it. Well, because I may want to try playing this without a landing gear. If it's loose, I'll just use tape. Finally, the manual does not contain details about the wing ribs also. I assume this is how the ribs are installed. Once your wing is mounted, make sure that it's parallel to the body. Everything is straight, 90 degree perpendicular. You're gonna apply the main wing decal based on their photos. This is called Little Team Leader. Following the manual, you slot this piece over this lid. I believe this is the servo linkage guider. Parts you need to make the wing strut: 2 carbon rod, 4 of this push rod, 4 smaller screws you can find in the back. These are the parts you need to build the wing strut: 2 carbon rod, 4 of this push rod, 4 screws, not the tiniest one. So you join up one end of the 2 carbon rod first. Install this wooden piece, which is also not mentioned in the instruction. Then super glue it. Install the wing strut on the side of the body. I have the screw on the push rod first, so it's easier for me to install it later. So you mount the wing on the body, slot your push rod on, put it up to the wing, So this is the time you adjust the length here. I'm going to set it where it's at a natural position. Do not screw too tight, otherwise your carbon rod gets bent like that and risk breaking it. So just make sure the dihedral on both sides is pretty equal, instead of having one side either too high or too low compared to the other side. Turn on and center your servo before installing it on the plane. And then you want to take this servo lid to pass it over to the other side. So the servo wires to be over the left side of the plane. Split the part here. You have item like this. You can secure a servo with some glue. Now try to install the push rod to the rudder and also the elevator. Before that, add some glue over here so that it sticks into the foam. And then lock it on the other side with this. I'm just going to drop some more glue to secure the lock. Lock it on the other side as well. Also adding glue to secure it. Cut away the extra length if you want. Prepare this. I have the screw installed already. Once you confirm that the servo horn is centered, you're going to need to remove it out of the servo first. Make sure you don't change the servo position. So the steel push rod to the second hole. Like that. Slide it through the guide. You need a steady hand for that. Install the push rod to the second hole as well. Slot the steel rod in. Tighten it later because we're going to adjust the length here. Then we're going to put the servo horn back. Make sure that it's straight. To be sure, you can power up your servo, and in this case we see that it's not straight, so I'm going to pull the servo out again. Put it back so it's more straight now, like that. Then we secure the push rod side. You then make sure that your elevator is level when the servo position is centered. So you can adjust it now. Same procedure for the servo on the other side. Oops, I move it. Move your servo horn. Slot the steel rod onto the second hole. Slot it through the guide. Take a deep breath so that you have a steady hand. Install the push rod to the second hole as well. Slot in the steel rod first. I have my servo power up to make sure that it's centered whenever I place this on. And now I'm going to install the servo horn centered. Secure the screw with the rudder straight. So servo centered, my rudder is pretty straight as well. Now look. So this is if you have a servo tester. Once that is correct, you can put your screw back to the servo horn with the servo off so that you don't fight with your servo. Now install 3 AAA batteries onto the battery tray. Plug this onto the radio connectors at the back and make sure you slot the steel rod to the second hole. That's at the center and then negative on the right side. You can also plug a 1S LiPo here. Carefully insert this in. Route the wires. If you are using their PNP receiver, that is to be mounted here, but I'm gonna test the connection and function of everything before I mount this on. So you can use the receiver here as well. And the battery over here, I'm gonna use this 2S 300mAh battery. This is their recommended capacity. For this size is squeezed to get in, but this is our battery for my tiny whoop. The 1S whoop is the perfect size for it, but it's a single cell, so you're gonna find 2S of this similar physical size, so that is a good fit. Otherwise, this one I think I could just use a Velcro strap to tie it around, which is also good. So the connection on this HeeWing RX 1.0 receiver, channel 1 is to your rudder, channel 2 is the elevator, ESC 1 will be the ESC. So I've put the receiver in proper place. And once you're ready to try this, turn on the remote using the switch here, plug the battery to the plane, and then do some cool initialization here for the gyro. And radio is beeping now because of the low voltage of those AAA. On the left stick is elevator, but in your case is the right stick because I have switched this over. Somehow the aileron controls the rudder. Your engine, your motor will not start up at first because there's a lock button here. So to unlock the motor, press the button 5. It will allow you to turn on the motor. And by default, there's a stabilization effect here. According to the manual, you can turn it off, or as far as what I can understand from the Chinese manual, press the button 6 to turn it off. But in my case, actually there's still stabilization, but much more minimal. As you can see, the servo is still twitching. So let's say now I'm on second mode. My servo is still moving. I press again. My servo becomes more aggressive. So I think It does changes the flight mode, but according to the servo twitching, there is still stabilization on a different mode. So we're gonna find out when we do the actual test later on. Very secure. You can also apply the screw here to secure the ESC door. So I've made sure everything works and know very well when the motor will power up. So I'm gonna now put the propeller as the last item. According to the manual, you're gonna push it all the way in. This is the direction of the propeller. You can see the difference. Propeller is facing forward. So let's plug it in. Try the power. Unlock the motor first. I can pull up. Whoa, that's quite powerful. Wow, very powerful. Can you hear that? I thought this runs on 1S, but when I look at the spec again, this is 2S, so this is very powerful for it. A friend told me he hates 1S powered RC plane, but this is 2S and it's damn powerful for this size. Found the Velcro they provided, but it's pretty long, so you can loop it over. It's really long, that's what she said. Maiden flight here. Control surface check. So unfortunately it's a bit to the right. Elevator, activating the motor. So you can actually take off on the ground, I think. Whoop. I'm just gonna toss it because of my alignment. Why is there a naked man over there? Woohoo! Okay, it's quite a handful to fly. I got not enough of rudder authority, so I'm just gonna land. There's just not enough of rudder authority, and I got no tools to adjust it now.
One eternity later.
I got the rudder adjusted by getting a screwdriver from a workshop nearby. Throw is too little. Okay, we got power. It's flying fine. I got really good authority now, but it's quite windy, so it's rocking it up and down. It's quite nice to fly. Probably even better indoor. Now I can fly slowly. Okay, I'm gonna switch mode. Okay, switch mode, and yeah, I think there's no stabilization now because it's sort of like climbing up. It still flies like not much of a difference. It does feel more manual once you change the switch, and it's leveling out itself now with the stabilized mode. Nothing to complain about the plane. It's flying fine. Despite the low throw, I'm getting enough authority. I can turn, I can fly really slow, and let's turn right. It's fine as well, and the stabilizer is doing its job. So when the wind rocks it, so the plane will rock as well. It's a little bit of like, I think could be tail heavy, but the good thing is once you let go your controls, it just hovers like that. It's nice. Wow, quite carefree kind of flying, or worry-free flying. So I'm on hands off again. Just steer it, and it looks like you don't even need to take care of your elevator. You just turn it around, and if it dives, you increase a little bit of throttle, and then just steer it. So gain some height. You could do that. This flies even better than my mini wing dragon, and you can hardly store it. I'm flying so slow, so wing is rocking, indicating that it's going to stall. So bring it higher. It's good to run this on 2S. It gives a good amount of power. So it's rocking again. I'll reduce the throttle to very minimal. It's almost standstill. Wind is coming from the right. Yep. So let's try to hang it again with minimum throttle. Just gliding.
and cut throttle completely. So it just glides down and it's light, so no damage. Since we got rudder authority now, it's track straight, so let's try taking off with landing gear, which is the point of this plane. Woo! Gracefully. But as you ascend, the stabilizer will try to hold it flat as well. So that's why you see that rocking movement. Let's try do it again. We're gonna land from here. Oh, wind is behind us. Woo! Alright, let's try again. Woo! Hey, yeah, you got a working landing gear. So then that's about it. You can't really do aerobatic with this, right? Now let's just try it. Okay, let's see if we can do a roll. Oh, no, the wing would flap if you fly too fast. If I go dive too crazily, wait, hey, we can almost do a loop. Okay, how about roll? Oh, no. But although you are giving it some stupid input, it still level it out itself. Let's do roll. You can't do roll. If you want to know where to buy this, you can check out a link in the description. You can get it from the official store of HeeWing with fantastic after sales service. Now let's bring it down. You can't cut throttle completely because you'll just climb. Let's go one more round. So probably CG is not right, so it's a bit funny when it's low throttle and trying to land. So I have my landing gear detachable. Now let's just fly it without landing gear. Maybe it will be even more tail heavy. It's tail heavy, but stabilizer is taking care of it for you. It's pushing the nose down. But you can see if I let go the stick, it will continue to climb up. Unfortunately, CG is not mentioned in the manual, so I'm trying it with gas. So I'm just gonna land like that. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Click the left thumbnail for latest video or smash the subscribe button on the video screen. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!